and gentlemen, normally I have the joy of introducing legendary matches filled with exceptional competitors. However, tonight it is my privilege to introduce the silver-tongued agent attorney and the strong arm of the elite. Please join me in welcoming Jeff G. Bailey and the Jagged Edge.
Hopefully they'll understand if I don't share in the enthusiasm that Miss Rachael seems to be having as she does the introduction. Thought we're going to be going to our next match, but apparently got a appearance here in the Anarchy Arena by the man dressed in black, the trench coat. Of course, Jeff G. Bailey leading his charge, the Jagged Edge. Certainly I know a lot is on the mind of Jeff G. Bailey. Certainly what's been going on the past couple weeks here, especially since season's beatings with Brian Casanova, who, of course, we've got a big heavyweight championship matchup. And whenever Jeff G. Bailey is able to get into the ring and get microphone in hand, it never usually bodes quite well for the fans at home as well as the fans here in Cornelia.
You know, it's been a few weeks since season beatings have taken place, and there was a lot of good that happened. You know, a lot of people have been talking about Brian Casanova and Gunner and what all happened with that. But what we really should be talking about is how the big hurt Jeter picked up Slim J and dropped him on his head and left him laying on the floor like a helpless cripple who was carried to the back like so much garbage. And I know everybody's quick to point out how Slim J's already come back. Well, believe you me, that's not a testament to his toughness. That's a testament to his stupidity, because anybody with a brain would never come back knowing that the big hurt Jeter is right around the corner ready to do it again. And more importantly that night, the Temptation, your Anarchy champion, beat Brody Chase bloody right out here on the floor, left him soaked in blood, and walked away the champ again. And I know tonight we were supposed to have a match with Brian Casanova and the Temptation. And I'm not going to talk about that because I'm going to let the champ himself, Shaun Tempers, address you. So if these people can actually get it done, let's hear from the champ.
Now everybody knows the most highly anticipated match of 2013 is going to pit the Temptation versus the Traitor for the Anarchy Heavyweight Championship. And with that match coming up, I was training especially hard, just like a champion should, and I happened to train a little bit too hard, and I ever so slightly pulled a muscle in my back. Now, being the fighting champion that I am, I went to the Anarchy doctors proactively, and I said, look, guys, I know this may look bad at first, but it's really not a big deal. I feel great. I could spray a little Temptation for Men on it, and I'm good to go. And the doctor said, hold on, champ. You know, you are quite an impressive physical specimen. We know that you could probably go ahead and do this match, win it, like you always do, but with you being such a hot commodity, the Anarchy Heavyweight Champ, the Temptation, we just can't risk further injury. So Casanova, it is with doctor's orders only that I will not be able to defend the title against you right now. And that's a big right now, because I want you to realize that as soon as I am cleared for action, it's going to be you and I one-on-one, and I'm going to prove to you that you're no hero. You're nothing special. You're just a bum like the rest of them, and I'm going to make sure that you realize that turning your back on the elite and gunning for the champ was the biggest mistake you ever made.
There you have it. Class words from a class act who would gladly be here to defend the title against Brian Casanova if the doctors would have allowed it. So what we did is we were going to change the match, and it was going to be Jagged Edge taking on Brian Casanova. But Brian Casanova was nowhere to be found, nowhere to be seen. So I sent Seven and Jeter to Nashville to track this coward down because I know he's running and hiding. See, he's a big, tough man when he's out here with Gunner and 4 or 5 other guys to back him up. Oh, he's a big, tough guy then. But when he's got to go one-on-one, he's nowhere to be found. And I just heard back before coming out here from Jeter and Seven, and they found out where this yellow dog Casanova, he was holed up in this flop house, the Stadium Inn in Nashville, sleeping on a soiled mattress in a room that stunk worse than death. And now he's on the run. He's a coward because he's afraid of a real man, the Jagged Edge. You know, there was a lot made out here when Gunner was here about Brian Casanova being a soldier and going overseas. Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Brian Casanova that you don't know. And that's Brian Casanova was a coward. He's the kind of guy that joined the Army because he had no other options in life. He was a loser. He would have wound up in jail or on the streets like half the scum that proliferate our armed forces. You want to talk about a real hero? The Jagged Edge is a real hero. He's a real man, a man who joined the military for a purpose, not just to get out of life. And that's the Jagged Edge, a real hero, the true universal soldier. They wanted to call Brian Casanova the universal soldier. Brian Casanova, whenever anybody was looking for him, you could always find him. He was in the rear with the gear, a gutless worm. He never stacked any bodies. The Jagged Edge has stacked more bodies than the Holocaust. He is the universal soldier, and he is an honorable man, unlike these cowards that think because they put on a uniform, they're special. That uniform doesn't mean anything. Any of these cowards out here could join the military, and they'd still be the same garbage they are right now. There's only one universal soldier. He's the Jagged Edge. And it won't be long, Casanova, because if you think you're going to get a title shot at the Temptation, you're sorely mistaken. You're going to face the Jagged Edge, and the Jagged Edge is going to put an end to you. That's your future, Casanova. Show up and be destroyed by the Jagged Edge, your true military hero. It's been an honor for you to be in our presence.
Well, the views of Jeff G. Bailey and company do not necessarily reflect the broadcast crew and those here are part of Anarchy.